We got another Ask Me Anything. This one's about the wide receiver position. It comes from Bita Pupil, and they say, what are the top 5 wide receiver cores in the NFL? And what team's wide receiver core doesn't get enough respect? So he's looking at the whole unit here,
right?
1 through, I don't know,
3, 4.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have at least 3 to be a core, right? Yeah. I'm not just going to go duo, all right? And you told me this question was coming, so I didn't sit here and scavenge the internet and go, let me pull up the teams and let me figure it out on
the top of my head.
So I have some teams ready for that.
Okay.
But let's clarify it. It's wide receiver cores. Travis Kelce and the Chiefs, George Kittle and the 49ers are not involved in this conversation. Why? Because they are not wide receivers. They are tight ends. So that's where I'm making this list off, because I've done this before, and then people, I go on social media and look, you're an idiot. You forgot about Gronkowski in New England. And I want to go, yeah, but did you read the question? It was wide receivers. So, Dad, I'll throw it out there. Here you go, and then you can echo off me, Dad, or which one jumps out to you, or which 2 or 3. My number 5 is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, and I did not expect them to be in my top 5 when I first started researching. But Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, Nelson Aguilar, who can do it all. I like the orchestration of their wide receiving core. They have everything. Aguilar can do it all. Deshaun's the deep guy. And then Alshon Jeffrey is the back shoulder, jump ball, physical over the middle type catches. And then they have some other guys like in Mac Hollins and even the rookie J.J. Whiteside-Arteaga, who I like, just add in. So there's my 5. Number 4, going to go Oakland Raiders. All right, Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams.
You're assuming Antonio shows up.
I think his feet are going to be good. Gruden said he's playing week 1, so I'm taking that. But Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams, J.J. Nelson, and even Ryan Grant. And let's not forget about the white boy from Clemson, okay, Dusty Renfro, who I think could end up having a role.
Right.
Hunter Renfro. I said Dusty. So
yeah, Hunter Renfro. Yes.
Right. Sorry. So that's my 4. Number 3, I'm going to the Rams. Okay. Woods, Cooks. Cooper Kupp, I know he's coming off an injury. It's an ACL tear. He got it halfway through the year. I don't think there's going to be a huge drop-off of him dealing with his injury. And the other kid they got, number 4, Josh Reynolds, he's a pretty damn good receiver too, so I'm going to go them 3. Number 2, I'm going to go the Atlanta Falcons. Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Mohamed Sanu, Justin Hardy. Now, that top 3 is strong.
Julio, that is really strong, especially when you're talking about Julio Jones. And then, Calvin Ridley, got to admit, surprised me with how he looked on the field last year.
Me too.
I thought, man, maybe he's a little overrated out of Alabama. Jesus Christ.
What are you, Forrest Gump?
Man, I know. Yeah. Hey, I'm Forrest Gump. That's my name. But he was tremendous last year, and you're right. It is just between those 2, Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, that makes them one of the top 5 in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm going to go there. And then number 1, I am going to go with the Cleveland Browns. I mean, with Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., Rashard Higgins, you got Jalen Strong, who is a big body guy who I think is going to contribute to this football team this year. And then let's not forget about Antonio Callaway. Yeah, he's going to be suspended for the first 4 games, but he's going to be a threat when he gets back. I mean, you leave him one-on-one, he's going to run by people. So I'm going to go with the 1, and that's my top 5. I left the Chiefs out, which I can't believe. But I can't trust Sammy Watkins at this point. I mean, if everything works out, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, McCole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson, man, they could be the number 1 or number 2. But really the only guy that's a proven commodity right there on that list is Tyreek Hill at this point. We're just wishing for the other stuff.
No Minnesota?
Minnesota, it's just a 2. It's a duo. It's a duo. I couldn't get in it. I thought about the Bears with Allen Robinson and Taylor Gabriel and Anthony Miller, but I'm not going to put them in that class. The Jaguars are sneaky with Dede Westbrook and Chris Conley and DJ Shark, but a little unproven there. And I thought the Colts were kind of on the outside looking in. But there's my top 5. Dad, got any other thoughts there?
Well, I don't have any arguments, which I would love to argue against you, but I really can't. And I think when you look at the Cleveland Browns, I do think the Kansas City Chiefs, it's so strong, and especially with the quarterback. But when you go Landry Jones, Beckham, like you said, Rashard Higgins, I'm not going to look it up, but I think they drafted like 3 receivers in 2016, and he's the one that came through. It's kind of like drafting running backs now.
Right.
Draft a couple and hope one of them works.
Right.
And every team is finding a guy. And Antonio Callaway, I like him, and I've always liked Jalen Strong. I never understood why he hasn't found a bigger role in the NFL or whatever, but wow, that is That's 5 guys. So it gives you, talent, depth.
Right.
And what does Mike Lombardi always say?
He's our buddy. He wants to form a basketball team with his wide receiving
you
core.
want a little bit of everything.
Right.
And you know what gets me? I say that, now everybody's saying, well, they got a basketball team out there. And, well, explain that to me there, big man.
Yeah.
But it is true. You don't need, everybody doesn't have to do everything. I love that. Like, there's a guy that comes in the NFL. He plays college football. Alvin Harper. Let's take Alvin Harper with the Cowboys. Remember him?
Yeah, of course.
He did like 3 things. He ran straight down the field. He ran a deep crosser maybe and a deep post. And I think that's about all he did.
Yeah, right.
But it served a tremendous purpose. He was fast. He was big. So that gave you the guy that could go, I hate the term, over the top and all that stuff. But he opened up many things for Michael Irvin, who wasn't going to run by anybody, but could use his body and his route running skills and his physical part of who he was to make it even work better for him. So that's why you need to – that's like when I watch college football, and Alabama's finally doing a little bit. All their great players, but does every receiver have to be 6'2", 210 pounds?
Right.
Can't we get a 5'10" guy in there that nobody can cover from the slot and things like that?
Right.
So – even college football, you need to keep a well-rounded group in there, and that's when you look at Cleveland, man, they're stacked. They're stacked everywhere.
Do you think I'm crazy for not having the Chiefs in my top 5?
I would have put them in the top 5, but I can't really look at which one I would take out real quick.
Right.
But San Francisco's interesting too.
Yeah, a lot of potential.
You're counting on young guys and stuff like that, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But Kansas City. Anytime you got Tyreek Hill out there, Sammy Watkins you can't trust. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
I've always liked DeMarcus Robinson.
Right.
I'm trying to think who else. Hardman, the rookie.
Yeah.
He's
a little
like study
Tyreek
him
Hill.
that well.
Right.
He played at Georgia, so that tells me something.
Yeah.
If you play at Georgia, that means you're a pro football player. It's just a question of which round they're going to draft you in.
Yeah, pretty much at this point. You're right.
So both of you guys talked up the depth, and you like having the depth and having players that do different things. Jump balls, speedy slot guy. But what if you had to choose between these two?
Yeah.
As you're both quarterbacks.
Right.
You can either have the best wide receiver ever, you say Jerry Rice.
Right.
But the other 4 receivers you have are below average.
Right.
Or you can have 5 that are all above average receivers.
Ooh.
So you can either have the greatest of all time, but then everyone else is kind of below average, or everyone who's just a little bit.
I'm taking door number 2.
All 5 receivers are a little bit above average?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Definitely taking it, yes, because you know what? In today's game, maybe in years past I wouldn't have done it, but in today's game, you can take one guy out of the game so easy. And, I don't know why more teams don't do it, because they got a system and they don't want to break their dumb system. I mean, we see there's the greatest team of all, the New England Patriots, the greatest dynasty we've ever seen in football. They are going to take your first and second guy out. Please, why does that surprise teams?
Yeah.
Why don't you have more plays and use those 2 guys as decoys? Because they're not – you can do whatever formation, move them, bring him off the bench, and then surprise her. They'll still double team him.
They will.
Which is amazing. Most teams, if you put a guy in motion, check to another coverage. We can't handle it. So I think I answered your question right there. In today's game, it's too easy to take one guy out of the game.
Yeah, I agreed. And then there's, one guy, there's some of the top-tier corners we got in football right now. They could be taken out in a given week if you got to go against Stephon Gilmore or Jalen Ramsey.
They don't need a whole team effort.
Yeah, you just go, damn, okay, now I'm really in a bind, because now that's just one-on-one on my best player, and the other guys that you're talking about that are below average, they're putting the whole defense over on those guys too, and I'm really screwed.
Even to think about Jerry Rice, let's see, he had that guy named John Taylor on the other side who was unbelievable.
Right.
And I know he was unbelievable too because of Jerry Rice, and they always had a good tight end. And they threw it to the running backs all the time. They were ahead of their time, and not that Jerry Rice was there for the very start of it, but boy, worked out pretty well.
Yeah. John Taylor served that Alvin Harper role almost a little bit in his own way that you were talking about.
Yeah, a little bit. And they had Brent Jones at tight end. One time, I don't know if John Taylor, they never crossed paths with Russ Francis, but Bill Walsh, whatever, did a great job of always keeping somebody opposite of Jerry Rice where you couldn't just put all your focus on stopping him.
Right. All right, you the man, Dad. I appreciate it. Yeah,
That's
that
all?
was it. You all right? You good? You wanted more? Do you want something else? You want to?
No, you asked me about. I think you told me about the game of the year. I'm looking forward to that.
We do have that question.
I want to hear you. Yeah, I do want that. Yes, we do.
Listen, probably not what you think. I'm looking forward to the opening night game because it is the first game. It's the Packers and Bears. I love their uniforms.
Yeah.
I like Soldier Field. I heard you say that, Christopher.
Yeah.
I like everything about it. Aaron Rodgers in the new offense. I can't wait to see that. I want to see Chuck Pagano's defense with the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Will they change it up a little?
Right.
And I want to see Mike Pettin with the Green Bay Packers, the defensive coordinator. He's got something to work with now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of questions there that I think we're going to get some of them answered on the first night of the season, and it's going to be great. And Aaron Rodgers, will he get along with the coach? I mean, I just can't. Will they argue during the game? Oh, it's just mysteries. Oh, Aaron Rodgers' relationship with it. Oh, my gosh. And, of course, first-year head coaches, I'm really interested in all them, too. It's like Bill Cowher once said to me, get into the AFC Championship game is one thing, but winning the Super Bowl is a whole nother level so far above it, it's incredible. And I went, wow. That's really interesting coming from him.
Right.
And it's the same thing as being a coordinator to a head coach. Being a coordinator is one thing. Now you're going to become a head coach, still has to call the plays. Man, that's a lot. So I'm interested to see some of these new young guys call plays and see how it works.
Yeah,
who's
definitely.
Gonna like that. The question came from the Packer Nation.
You the man. Hey, that was on my short list. I got about 7 or 8 games written down here, but I'm with you. Packers, Bears. I'm excited and appreciate it because it's an NBC game. Way to pub the network, Dad. Way to go. Thanks a lot.
Well, son, it never ends. I have to do whatever I can do to help your
help my
sorry butt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
We'll
you know what I'm saying, Ahmed? Hey, look, you got to work with him. Just think, I had to raise that thing.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.